All right, so I was actually watching a talking point by a UFC fighter by the name of Molly McCann, who gets a lot of scrutiny, but she was very right in the sense where she was talking about John Anik and calling sports fans toxic and everything like that, where a lot of people, especially people who sit on the sidelines, aka the fans, which obviously they are paying the tickets, but you got to look at the elephant in the room, and that's that a lot of people nowadays would rather sit on the sidelines and criticize the people trying to get something done with their lives than actually doing things with their lives. And Molly McCann's a really good example of how she's very right. And I know that she's taken a few dips in her career and has gotten under scrutiny, but it was like a lot of people were waiting for her to fail for just personal reasons of just wanting someone to mock because it makes you feel better. And you could attribute this more not just to UFC, but to life. And this is one thing that I really realized, and this is actually a talking point that I'm actually very passionate about because I've seen this in society multiple times. I've cut friends out of my life because they haven't done anything with their lives, but they want to criticize me for trying different things and doing things with my life and building myself up. Because if I have like one bad day, they're never going to let me hear the end of it. But every day that they have is unproductive, lazy, meaningless. They're just smoking some grass, playing video games all day, literally wasting their time. And it doesn't click with their head that maybe they should do something with their lives and make it better. And these are friends who have 12 years on me. So as I sit here being 29, I have friends who are like 41 who still live in their parents' basement, and I don't even hang out with them anymore, so I shouldn't be calling them friends, but you get the picture. It just kind of happens a lot. Like, I even met a kid who I kicked out of my life. The same one. He's like 40 years old, but he's trying to convince me that Guitar Hero is a better way to learn the guitar than actual learning the guitar itself. And this just demonstrates just how delusional some people can be. But if I actually tell him the basic thing that a real guitar has 6 strings and multiple frets, he just laughs in your face. Like, will get up in your face and start maniacally laughing just to cover his tracks, and then he'll twist what you say. Once you have enough, he'll just say, no, I wasn't trying to argue. I was just trying to pick your brain. And like, it's the ultimate gaslighting thing. I just wanted to know what you were thinking and everything like that. And he does that all the time, too, is he just asks people what they're thinking, not because he actually cares about what they're thinking, but he just wants attention. He just wants people to realize that. So, you know, obviously a lot of people have called him out on this stuff. I don't hang out with him anymore. But that's just probably, you know, I'm picking on the lowest hanging fruit here, but even then, like, you see a lot of people addicted to their phones, seeing the main characters of life, quote unquote, like the celebrities, what they're doing, criticizing every drama that they're doing. Like, when someone's a public spectacle online, they're so invested in that, waiting to look down on someone. When you can't realistically do that and build yourself into something. Now, maybe if you've actually built yourself into something, I could see you looking at these people from a sense of justified righteousness, right? But a lot of this righteousness is just not justified. Like, I think society, mainly American/Western society, has a gigantic ego problem. And not just on a dog-eat-dog world thing, but like an actual thing where like people don't look themselves in the mirror very often, or they don't accept the criticisms coming their way, like whether it's like minor or anything like that. And you could criticize everybody. Nobody is beyond criticism. But a lot of people like to kind of like sit there and act like they're perfect all the time, and those are the ones that don't do anything with their lives. Because when I go on social media, I see 2 types of people: just trash talkers, and then the people I know who aren't talking down on people online because they've actually built their lives into something meaningful and something with fulfillment. But I don't want to actually just talk in circles, but I'm saying that society needs an authentic ego death, like not one that's done by psychedelics or something like that, because I know a lot of people who do psychedelics and claim they have these quote-unquote ego deaths when really their egos are super out of whack, and they think they've just uncovered the secrets of the universe, and everyone else is just a intellectual peasant compared to them, and they know what's best and everything like that. Like a lot of false enlightenments, like someone learns one truth or a conspiracy theory, and then they think that they're Neo from the Matrix, not realizing maybe they're a side character in the Matrix or in the real world. Maybe they're not really flying around like they think they are. Maybe they're just trying to survive from some machines or something like that. But they give themselves way too much credit for believing something that's really not that hard to believe. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Doesn't take a whole lot of do-how. It's just, will I subscribe to this? Yes. Okay, now I'm smarter than everybody else, and everyone else is wasting their time. Even someone who agrees with everything that the media says, you know, or something like that, or thinks that society will never lie to them, right? Like, if they're living a productive life where they're getting promotions at work or they're having a family or building a home, I don't really think there's anything wrong with that, because there's a lot of fulfillment in that. Like, there's a very healthy out-of-whack imbalance of looking at people based on what they believe and doing whatever you can to dehumanize them, especially 2024, these political years, which I'm not looking forward to. And I'm not saying that you should just allow anyone to live any type of lifestyle, because there are obvious examples of harmful lifestyles. But people like to act like they're the main character in life when who are they? Who appointed them as the main character of this life? And it's so widespread, like with this main character syndrome, that like 9 out of 10 people have it. Or at least like 19 out of 20 people have it. Like you'll find one person out of every like group who tends to be aware about this, but everyone else is just in their own little matrix of their phones thinking they're the main character to this story. And it just gets a little out of whack, where it's like, yeah, no, maybe they've discovered that something's a little aloof in society, but here's the thing. There's multiple levels to any sort of enlightenment. And once you breach that level, you got to look up and think, do I have another level to breach? Not breach the first level and think, oh, I've learned it all, because you can never learn enough, in my opinion. That's at least the way I like to view the world. But I don't know how to land this plane, but you catch my drift on this. Society does need an authentic ego death, like something that can really, you know, humble us and teach us. And, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do that, but it takes very few groups of select few people to actually learn that a life worth living is one where you are constantly learning lessons, where you never have it all the way figured out, where you're always working on something, you always have a goal. That's a fulfilling life. You know, not just sitting there on your phones, on your TikToks, waiting to look down on people. So, I hope something in this video resonated with you. I'm about to go to sleep and then upload this on the internet, so I will see you guys later. Peace out.